Good morning, everybody. So glad to see you.
Good morning.
Welcome to the WikiTree Saturday morning live cast to talk about the stuff that we've had going on in the past week. Lots of people here, and I'm not going to say hello to everybody just yet. We're going to immediately pop over to Sir Greg of Up to Grove.
Sir Greg of Up to Grove. Thank you very much. Yes, I have to leave shortly to play for a funeral at town because I'm a church organist, and I'm on call whenever those happens. And so I've got 15 minutes. I figure I can before I have to take off. And so we're starting with the profiles of the week. And the profiles of the week are New Mexico notables, starting off with the two profiles that are the Connection Combat theme for the week: Billy the Kid and lawman Pat Garrett. And since we liked the Roundup Combat the last time we did this, 2 weeks ago, which seems like over a month ago now, but it's only 2 weeks, I thought we would do the same thing. So the first combat, of course, is the logical one, is the one from the two profiles of the week. So we've got Billy the Kid and we have lawman Pat Garrett. Of course, Billy. So Billy the Kid, here's his profile here, and he had. So for those who are live and in the chat, please type in either Billy the Kid or type Pat Garrett, so that we can, depending on which one you are closer to in terms of connections. So for me, I'm closer to Pat Garrett, and we're gonna get. I've got a little spreadsheet here so that we can tally the scores. Megs, Betsy, and I have already put in who we're closest to. It looks like we're all closest to Pat Garrett. That's interesting. I wonder if that trend will continue with our YouTube viewers. So anyways, put in that Billy the Kid or Pat Garrett, or you could put in same distance.
We have Yoke has already thrown up a thing. He's the same distance to both.
Right. So what we did last week, when we were the same distance to both, we gave each of them a point. Okay. So Mags is keeping score for Billy the Kid and Betsy is keeping score for Pat Garrett. So they will keep track of those numbers while I just talk briefly about these profiles. Billy the Kid, of course, was a notorious outlaw. And I didn't realize, I mean, his name is Billy the Kid. I didn't realize how young he was when he was killed. He was only 21 years old. He was just a kid. But his life of crime only lasted about 5 years. When he grew, his mother passed away, and the stepdad he was with sort of had abandoned him. So he turned to a life of crime and killed a bunch of people. So he was on the most wanted list. Interestingly, the person who killed him, who was the sheriff, who was a lawman, Pat Garrett, he was a bartender before he became the lawman and responsible for the town in New Mexico where he was in Fort Sumner. He was a bartender, and there's a picture of them together because they used to hang out together at the bar, but then things went awry. He killed one of his deputies, and so Pat Garrett had to track him down, and so he killed him. So some people said he was the hero of the hour, the Pat Garrett, the one who killed Billy the Kid, and others disagreed and called him a villain for killing Billy. So there's a bit of a controversy there. For scoring points for the profiles, the way that where the profiles are going to combat each other, because both of these profiles are so well done and beautiful in terms of the images and the extra features they've added. I thought that's what we'll count. We're going to count the number of images in the bio of each profile and the number of stickers that have been added per profile. So starting with Billy the Kid, we've got two images for in his bio, and he had one sticker here for being notable. And over at Pat Garrett, he's embedded lots. And what I really like about this profile, the person who did this, is the way they've not only just embedded the images, but they've gone back and forth from left align to right align, so it looks nice and visual as you're going through that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 images and one sticker. Looks like.
Greg, are you putting that in the sheet, or should we?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Yeah. 8 images and 1 sticker. Okay. So also we need to the cousin bonus. So I am not cousins to either of them. Mags and Betsy, are you cousins to either of these folks?
Let me look and see.
No. I am not.
You're not. Okay.
I have to bring my thing back up. Sorry.
Okay. That's okay.
Elevator music. Let's see. Pat Garrett. I am not his cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to find him. William McCarthy. I am not his cousin either.
Okay, so no cousin bonuses there from us. Okay, so Mags, you've completed the score.
And here
in the score for Pat Garrett.
I have it. Just
wait, we got 5. Sorry, somebody came in late.
Okay, that's okay.
Someone stuck it.
You go ahead, update it. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So Pat Garrett wins that combat handily. So there we go. Okay, next we have 2 singers facing off against each other. WikiTree elite. Chris Calloway, the daughter of Cab Calloway, famous musician. And Chris, though officially called Christopher Lynn, but went by Chris, born in 1945 in Los Angeles. Her obit said that her mother's name was Nuffy Calloway. But there's a discrepancy there because she was born in 45 and they didn't get married till 49, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's wrong, but I guess it's a question that someone had. She began her career on television, performed with her father for 30 years, including on the Ed Sullivan Show, and starred in a Broadway production with Pearl Bailey. That's pretty cool. Vivacious vocalist and Santa Fe resident until she died in.
Don't forget to post who you are into the chat, please.
Yes, so please post in.
Closer to Chris, closer to John.
Yes, okay. Chris or John, or Callaway or Denver, whichever you want to say. Yes, thank you. Thanks, Max, for reminding me of that.
Spellbound looking at the profiles.
Yes. So she has. Now, does this count here? Is a sticker at the top here? The note, would you say, like she's a part of a Black History?
No, that's not a sticker. That's a project box.
Ah, okay.
So the sticker is the one underneath the biography heading.
Right. Okay. So she's got 1 sticker. She doesn't have any images embedded in the bio, which the way I wrote this, I guess, so I'm afraid that she's going to have to get the 1 sticker, but not the other one. And if you're interested in how to embed images into the bio, Betsy did a tip of the week. And her tip of the week was specifically about how you can embed images in the bio and avoid having them come up duplicate in the side panel here. So if you've uploaded an image to a profile, it automatically shows in the side here. So we've got a nice image of Chris. But like if you look in this last one with Pat Floyd, all of those images that are nicely embedded in the bio also show up on the side here. So it would be, if there was a way of just hiding those, that would be nice. But Betsy showed us a way of doing that.
Yeah, I'm afraid to take my eyes off the chat.
Okay, then. At a later point, after I leave.
I will put it up when I do my tap. How's that?
Yes, there we go.
Okay.
Super. Okay, and then John Denver, of course, famous songwriter, country singer and whatnot, born in Roswell, New Mexico. So there's his connection to New Mexico.
Wait. John Denver was born in Roswell?
Yes.
Oh, I never knew that.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Roswell, New Mexico. So, he gets it. Maybe he got his inspiration from the aliens.
Almost heaven.
Yeah, that's right.
West Virginia.
Yeah. His birth name was Deutschendorf, but he switched it to Denver as a stage name because he loved the state of Colorado. So even though he's born in New Mexico, He actually moved to Colorado, loved it, and so named it after the city, capital city.
Excuse me, I'm going to bring up people that have come in late a little bit.
Okay.
We're doing the connection combat again,
Mhm.
and you are to post the name of the person that you are closest connected to. And right now we're doing Chris Calloway and John Denver. So please post just those names right now. So if you're closer to Chris Calloway or John Denver, just put John Denver or Chris Calloway in the chat, and we'll come back to all the other. We'll go through all the rest of the matches as we go.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so John Denver had 2 images and no stickers. Are either of you cousins with either of those? I'm cousins with John Denver.
I am 21st cousins with John Denver.
Okay. Megs?
I am 8th cousin of John Denver.
Okay, so he gets 3 cousin points. I'm not a cousin with Chris Calloway. Either of you?
We
No.
did not have any come up as Chris Calloway.
What?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're all John Denver. But somebody posted Pat Garrett really, really late. Sorry. Everybody is John Denver.
Okay, well, John Denver.
Okay, wait, they're still coming in. Okay,
Okay.
go for Denver.
Okay.
Closest connection going 3, 2.
Wait,
One.
Okay.
Chris, we have one a tie, so you can give one to.
And Dee Spencer just said she was, or I think she did.
Me. No.
I don't know what she said.
To the countdown, maybe.
No, she's not.
Okay.
No, she's Calloway. Okay, so 2.
Okay. Oh, here comes Vicky with Denver. Okay, got it.
Got it. Okay. So John Denver still wins, though. There we go. Nice.
Yeah, handily.
Okay.
John
2
I'm going
authors.
to change the Pat Garrett because we've had 2 more people. So there we go.
The next category, and I am rushing this a bit. I can't actually stay till 20 after, but 20 after is a hard 20.
Okay.
20 after. I've got my binder to play. Well, all my music. I'm ready to do. I can just zip out the door, if we have to. Okay. 2 authors. Leslie Marmon Silko, who is a Native American author of the Laguna descent. She immediately gained fame with the publication of her first novel and is considered part of the wave of North American Renaissance. So if you're closer to Leslie, put in Leslie or Silko, one of those, into the chat. If you're closer to Thomas Wakefield Blackburn, then put that into the chat. Okay, Blackburn or Silko, Leslie or Thomas, whatever is easiest for you to type. I'm cousins with both of them, as it turns out. And I don't know if you guys have figured out your cousinship yet.
I'm cousin to both as well.
Oh, isn't that interesting? Do we have a three-peat?
I am cousins with Silko and both. Yeah, both.
Huh.
Yep.
Isn't that funny?
Yep.
Okay, there we go. So Leslie, parents are Native American, white, and Mexican descent. Laguna, her first novel, Ceremony, was about a wounded World War II vet who returns home to heal, and received critical acclaim, and often taught in college courses. So that's very cool. She has no stickers or images, sadly. Now, Thomas Wakefield Blackburn, notable for being a lyricist, screenwriter, and author of novels. So that's why I've got him facing against, because he's also a novelist. But the thing that I think is the coolest thing about this guy, who was born in 1913 in Raton, New Mexico, was that he was the one who composed the song, The Ballad of Davy Crockett. Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. Anyways, you don't know that song from the Walt Disney Show? No. Come on.
I remember it very well.
Anyway, I think that's very cool. But anyways, he also did other stuff. He also he got a Best First Novel Award for the novel called Tumbleweed with Spurs, which is a non-Western mystery book that starred Sam Spade, the famous Sam Spade detective. So that's cool too. I didn't realize he was the initiator of Sam Spade. Anyways, the profile has a nice list of all the other things that he's done. So that's very cool.
All right,
Um,
time to wrap this one up.
yep.
Let's
Okay.
get this man out the door. I've got 3.
I've got 18.
Ooh.
Put it in for you,
okay.
Betsy. I'm sitting.
Thank
Thomas
you.
Blackburn
Thank you.
wins.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on to 2 generals. Kit Carson, frontiersman. Born Christopher Houston Carson in 1809 in Madison County, Kentucky. Died in 1868 at the age of 58 in Colorado. Where is his? Well, he was a frontiersman, so he went through all the the Wild West, which would have included New Mexico. He was a mountain man, trapper. He worked with a number of and married into the Arapaho and the Cheyenne tribes. He was a guide to John Fremont, and was also a courier and a scout during the Mexican-American War. And is celebrated for his rescue mission after the Battle of San Pascual. He was buried in New Mexico. So died in Colorado, but buried in New Mexico. Interesting. So there's his connection. And again, so either type in Kit or Carson or Lewis or Wallace to tell us who you're most connected to. And then looking at Wallace, Lewis Wallace, born in 1827 in Indiana and passed away in Indiana as well. But he was the 10th governor of New Mexico, hence his. But he was a Civil War general and the author of the book Ben-Hur. Did you guys know that?
No.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Interesting.
A Civil War general was also an author of Ben-Hur, that eventually became this huge megalith of a movie that, lots of people watch around Easter time. Pretty amazing. Yeah. Ulysses S. Grant actually praised him for his work as a general and whatnot. So we have, this is a box, but he gets a sticker, no images embedded in the bio. So Lewis gets a sticker point. And looking over here, we've got 2 stickers for Kit Carson. Lots of images along the side, but none embedded directly in the bio. So, I mean, the profiles writers did not know the arbitrary options that I was choosing to score, so it's not their fault. Let's see, cousin bonuses. I'm cousins to one of them. Betsy and Megs, who are you cousins with?
Both of them.
I am only cousins with Wallace.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. Mistake. I'm only cousins with Wallace as well.
So that's my one there, Greg.
Yeah.
Okay. And I had a 1, so Betsy. So we all got a 3. He all got 3. Okay. And what about our YouTube viewers? How are they stacking up?
I've got 17 for Kit Carson so far.
And 9 for Lewis Wallace.
Lewis wins again.
Oh,
No, he doesn't.
No. Oh no. 7. Oh. I heard you. I heard the numbers backwards in my head.
That's okay. Lisa Gervais is kicking you out, Greg.
Oh no. Okay, I've got 2 minutes. Okay. Oh, how are we gonna do this? Oh no. Maybe we'll do Georgia and Val, and then I'll have to leave, and then we'll talk about the other ones. Or you guys have the spreadsheet. You could continue without me.
Yeah. The question is do we want to?
Yeah, that's the question.
There's only 2 left. Let's go for it.
Oh,
Okay.
go.
Georgia O'Keeffe and Val Kilmer. Okay, both artists of a sort. George, of course, visual arts and wonderful, who Megs regularly had lunch with, as it turns out. She'll tell that story after I leave.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
It's very
just
cool.
for a short week, and I didn't even know who she was. So,
so tied between tuck down Georgia or Val, depending on which one you are closest to. And she has got lots of. She got a sticker and only 2 embedded in her images embedded. She gets 1 sticker, and Val has a sticker and no images, so he gets a sticker point. I am cousins to both. What about you folks? You 2?
I am cousins to O'Keeffe and Kilmer, both of them.
Okay.
Yep.
My guess is that you must be as well, then, Megs.
I am closer to Kilmer. Wait a second, I got to get back over there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm busy counting because Georgia's got lots of cousins.
Ah, nice.
Let's see. I am 13th cousin to Val, and I'm gonna guess no cousin to Georgia.
Oh,
Nope, 15th cousin to Georgia. I wish I'd have known that back in the day.
yes.
We
Hey,
could have
cuz.
actually had something to talk about.
That's right. There we
Over our
go.
sandwiches.
Okay. So I'm going to have to leave you after you put in the scores for these YouTube viewers. How are the YouTubers? Who are they closer to?
I've got 10 so far.
I've got 23 so far
Woo!
for Georgia. Yep.
Wow.
I'm up to well, yeah, okay.
Cool.
14.
Okay, I'm at 11.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to call it at 15.
Okay.
What did I say? 17, 18, 19, 20. There we go.
And the winner is.
What'd you get there?
I just went up to 13.
All right.
And it is George O'Keefe for the win. Woohoo! Good stuff.
21. And it's 21 after.
Yeah,
Okay.
I gotta go. I've got to go. Have a great day. Sorry to leave you.
Thank you,
folks.
Greg.
Yes.
See ya. Bye.
Bye. Ciao.
Ciao bella, man. Is he gone? Oh, we can talk about him. You know, Greg. I have to tell you the weirdest story. I'm just kidding.
Tell us about Georgia O'Keefe.
I was at the school that I went to, the college that I went to, she had taught there back in the teens, the 19 teens. And I was working in the summer doing photography work. So I was constantly in the art department working in the darkroom and doing stuff or working on contact sheets or doing whatever. And there was a group of people who got together for lunch. And it would change every week. There would be new people, different people. And I would just kind of sit down amongst these beautiful artists people and listen to their conversation and eat my sandwich and take off. And there was this wonderful little old lady who would sit at the table for about a week. And at the end of the week, a friend said, "You know who that was, don't you?" And I was like, "No." And she said, "That was Georgia O'Keefe." I'm like, "What is Georgia O'Keefe doing here?" Like, yeah, right.
Wow.
And he said, no, she's here on sabbatical. She used to teach here. And I'm like, no way. So I didn't have deep conversations with her, but she was there. And I was oblivious.
And I mean, at that point in her life, she was very, very famous, right?
She was very, very famous and very, very elderly at that point. It was not long before she passed away, I think. And she was very elegant, very, what were the words I used when you asked me before? She's very elegant, very quiet, very personable. She was very good at the, talking, and it was when she talked, she was very good at it. Yeah, it was cool.
Wow. All right. Are we going to finish off the profiles or?
Yeah, let's see. Edwin Full and Wider or Conrad Hilton.
How about I do the scoring and you do the profiles? All the way around?
I'm good with that.
Okay.
All right. So let's run over to Edwin. Where are you? Edwin Fullender. Edwin Gaines Fullender, born 1900, died 1982. Got a great picture for a profile picture. Let's see. He is my 9th cousin, 3 times removed. And of course, if you want to say who you're closest to, pop it into the chat for Betsy to add them all up. He was the son of Simon Peter Fullenwider or Fullenwider or Fully. His nickname was Fully. And Betty Donna Gaines, and he married 2 women, Carol Citron and Sabine Lansing. Let's see something about this gentleman. He was born in Raton, New Mexico. There were lots of New Mexico connections on this connection.
That's because the WikiTree challenge,
yes,
was the New Mexico Genealogical Society.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
So cool.
That's great. His father was an officer in the U.S. Navy, so the family moved around frequently. Let's see. He was in D.C. a lot. Participating in an Arbor Day celebration. Let's see. He went to the U.S. Naval Academy, assigned to the USS Reina Mercedes during in 1921, which was after the war, World War One, and his commission was in 1920. So he kind of dodged that bullet. I'm sure that there was lots of stuff going on with the war after that. Let's see what else. Lieutenant. So he was a Navy man. He was an Olympian. He was representing the United States as a fencer.
Oh.
Fence. I did a talk in Toronto a couple of months ago, and there was a fencing club going on at the same facility. I was mesmerized. Let's see. Marriage and family. He married Sabine Lansing, Jefferson County, New York. Let's see. He relocated to Honolulu, Hawaii, where they resided. Oh my gosh, they have the residence listed and everything. Hibiscus Drive. Peter was born in Queens Hospital in Honolulu. Let's see. And he passed away in Washington, D.C. at 81 years old. He's buried at Arlington National Cemetery, of course. All right, so let's go on to Conrad Hilton real quick. If I can get myself back there. Let's go up here. Conrad Hilton. And he is not a cousin of mine.
Nor
of yours.
No.
Conrad Hilton, of course, you know Paris Hilton probably is his most famous descendant. Katie Llewellyn has a good job on this. She's got lots of great information. He was born in San Antonio, Socorro, New Mexico Territory in 1887, married twice. He is also the person who started the Hilton hotel chain. So if you ever stay in a Hilton, recognize that face if you see his ghost anywhere. Looking out a window during a family picture. There you go. Let's see. He was married twice. One of them was to Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Wow, I didn't know that.
How about that?
That's interesting. Huh.
Yeah. That's why she was always around in furs and diamonds. 1957, Hilton was initiated as a member of Tau Kappa Epsilon fraternity at New Mexico State University. More university talk. Conrad was also an avid philanthropist, hotel of management and restaurant management, University of Hilton. That's interesting. I never realized that he actually had degrees in hotel work. So that makes a lot of sense that he was so.
At what time did he get those degrees? Like, because that must have been early.
1969.
Oh, all right. Okay.
So that was when he was in. Well, he was in school in 57.
I see.
And then he used the family fortune to build hospitality college, the Hilton College of Hotel and Restaurant Management. So he engendered it in other people as well.
Yeah.
Majority of the state of Conrad N. Hilton Foundation, a non-profit charitable foundation. So he was a philanthropist as well. That's fun. And he died of pneumonia in 1979 at the age of 91.
Oh.
Yeah. His son Barron followed into. It's funny how sometimes these rich. Oh, I'm not even showing the profile, am I? Sorry about that. I've just been talking away and not showing that. There you go. There's his face. It's interesting how really, really rich people like to name their children if they don't have a pedigree. They like to name their children Barron.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know two multimillionaire, billionaire, gazillionaires that, not personally, but I mean,
yeah, right.
There are two that I know of.
Well, I don't know. You've met Georgia O'Keeffe, so who knows?
You know what? I had no idea who she was the whole time. It's hilarious. Barron followed his father's example, leaving 97% of his own fortune to that foundation upon his death. So that's a good thing, though. Baron or Prince. Oh, there's funny. Thank
Yeah.
you, Judy. All right. Thank you, Dee. See you later. What did we come up with our information there?
We got 12 for Edwin and 4 for Hilton.
Wow.
Any more votes? Any more votes? It seems a little light.
Selling some votes now. Ooh, that's not a good thing to say.
I'm ready. My pen is poised.
So images embedded in the videos. I wasn't keeping track of that. I didn't even have it on the screen. So there's only one for Hilton. And for let's check out the other one. That's for
you said there's one for
one for Hilton. So one
for Hilton.
One for Fulwinder. Fulwinder.
And those are images, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Those are images. Fulwinder has two stickers.
Okay.
Let's go up here, find the other category. And Conrad Hilton has 1 sticker.
Okay.
And what was the other one? That was it.
That's it.
Yep.
All right. Of course, it's Greg. So he has a formula already embedded into
it. Is Greg. It is Greg.
Wow.
All day long. And I can't impersonate. I could try and make my voice a very low radio voice, but no.
So that means Edwin Fullenwider wins 16 to Conrad Hilton's 8.
Woohoo! And that is the connection combat for today. And we've got other stuff going on. Do you want me to run through real quick? I can do the question of the week real fast.
Yeah. And you know what? While you're doing that, I'm going to put the G2G links in for connection combat.
Okay, cool.
And my the tip that was referenced for photos.
Good. All right, I'll do the question of the week. We can do it pretty quickly.
Yep.
Question of the week this week. Let me get back to it. There we go. So the question of the week is, who are you named after? Betsy, who are you named after?
I was named after Queen Elizabeth I.
Wow.
Yeah, because my mother wanted to use Tudor, which was a family name. And that's my middle name. And then she thought, well, what goes with Tudor? Well,
Elizabeth.
It worked before, so let's do it again.
So you're Elizabeth Tudor. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Tudor Co.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Hey, Greg, who are you named after? We know you're listening in the car.
Totally.
Yeah. Oh, look. Yvonne DeCarlo.
Ooh.
That's fun.
What about you, Mags?
Yeah, my great-grandmother's. No, my great-grandmother's.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, and then there's another weird story, but that's okay. My mother was working at a high school, and the principal said he'd never had a baby named for him when she was pregnant with me, and so she named me after him for my middle name.
Wow.
And I wanted to say to my dad, is there something fishy about this? But it's genetically that it's all good. Yeah, named after an senior actress Judy Garland.
That's neat.
Middle names after both grandmothers. Huh. Let's see. Pat Miller says that I love this question, even though it doesn't apply to me. So what if it did apply to me instead of dad just liking Patricia and mom liking Bruce, and their handshake over gender deciding my name? In my research, most of my ancestors were not named after famous people. They were named after parents and grandparents with a mother's maiden name often tossed in. So what if my parents followed this pattern? Yeah, that is so true. So Evelyn John, Mary Charles, Florence Charles, and Stylo Miller. Wow. And a lot of it, especially in the South, and I've noticed it in the Northeast as well, that family names. So I have siblings who are nothing but family surnames as their entire name. So, and yeah. My grandmother's dad's branch was Maria Guerini. Although my dad was baptized by his Italian parents, with 5 names translated to special equivalents are Giuseppe, Antonio, Giuliano, Plinio, Fulvio. Haven't found the reference to these last 2. It was only one who had the name linked to my grandparents. That's interesting. So Mario Zama Escalante. Make sure you upvote these questions. Chris wasn't named, everybody. He was born around Christmas? That's crazy. I got to put that up there. That's fun. That's fun. And Joan Proud is working on something. I think she's making a comment. I was named after nobody. Queen Victoria, you and Tree Climber need to talk. You might be related.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Let's see. And she's got the stuff up. When I was pregnant with our twins, they were always referred to as Twin A and Twin B. That's funny, Dr. Seuss. When it came to naming them, Twin A ended up with Arthur, my grandfather's middle name, so my husband said. Oh, that's fun. 2 names, others in grade school. That's fun. My grandfather was named after a kid who lived in the neighborhood. My great-grandmother just loved the name.
Oh.
All right, moving on here. Let's go real fast. Shonda Feather says, my mother told me she found my name in Los Angeles Times obituary section. How many people were named after somebody's obituary?
What? Wow.
Isn't that crazy? That's
That
crazy.
is. Huh.
Let's go on to the next one. Oh, this one. This is Alexis Nelson. She says she was named after her paternal grandfather, second great grandfather, Alexander McAuliffe. That's fun. So she's Alexis after him.
Mm-hmm.
Zooming on along, Mac Morrison says that I was named after my dad. I'm a junior. However, I use the nickname Mac that his dad, my granddaddy, used. That's fun. That your nickname is after your great-great-grandfather.
Yeah.
Let's see. Zooming right along. I was probably named after the daughter of my mother's employer, as this is the only connection with the name Hillary that I know of, and I am the only one in the family. My middle name is from my mom's friend who never married. She was a nurse and in charge of a cancer treatment center before she retired. We kept in touch with her until recent years when her eyesight was deteriorating. She may have moved into a care home. I'm not sure if she passed away, as my aunt, who knew her well, has passed away as well. That's interesting. Thank you, Hillary. Let's run over here. Let's see. Robert Pack says, I guess I was named after my ancestor, Robert Park. Oh, Robert Park, who came to the colonies from 1630. I was never told, but I guess Yvonne DiCarlo. Thank you, Bonnie. And Anne Marie Fiordalici is my name. So mom is Yvette, and my great-grandmother was Anna. My name is supposed to be Anna Marie, but it was too Italian for my mom, Chris. You can't have 2 Italian, can you?
Yeah.
And this is the last one we're going to do. Look at this. I was named after nobody in the family. My mom just liked the name Brian. I derived my middle name from my maternal grandfather, Andrew Anderson. So look at these great pictures that he has.
They are. Can you make them?
These guys look like troublemakers to me. Look at that. Kids hanging out on the corner. Oh, look, there's even writing on the back. That's great. Cat Eye. One of these guys is nicknamed Cat Eye. Now, my father always told me he was named after a cab driver's brother who drove his parents to the hospital during the snowstorm, January 29th, 1942. Top that, okay? Everybody top that. All right. Yeah, and Chris is trying to correct my pronunciation. Thank you so much, Chris. That's why I don't do the hard stuff. Let's see. Yeah. There's a genealogist who calls his children thing 1 and thing 2. Yes, he does. After my grandmother, Johanna, makes me think of Sarah Callis and her mama. Joan Prout. One of the first indexing projects I did was a Providence birth records from 1982. That's fun. And that wraps up the question of the week. And I just have to tell you that Sarah just dyed her hair blonde. Just
I saw that. She looks great. Yeah. I thought it was fun.
Yep. And that's the question of the week. On to Betsy,
Yes.
Your Majesty. You have 20 minutes.
Okay, thanks. So I put in the chat, let me switch tabs and add to stage. So I just put this G2G post in the chat. And so if you thought what we were doing with our connection combat was fun, there is an ongoing weekly thing called Connection Combat, where there's you see which one you're closer to, and then you look at all the steps between you and your closer connection and validate that the links are good and properly sourced and pretty up the profiles, and it's all explained in the post. But if you thought that this was fun, you should get in on this. It's a weekly thing. So, and then also related to how to embed a profile, photo in a profile, there is, this is a free space page. Thanks, Megs. Where I've listed all the tips of the week. I think I've been a little lazy the last few weeks, but other than that, they're all there. And what you want is how to avoid double vision with photos in your profiles. So you can find that in the table of contents, and it was back in June, and there's the link to the YouTube clip. So speaking of tips,
You have a tip?
I have a tip.
Are you feeling tipsy?
No, it's too early for that.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know if maybe you had mimosas on the go.
Yeah. No, this is coffee, I promise. Now, this tip I'm really excited about. And it came up on Discord, and props go to Donna Henley, who was the one who mentioned this, and it is so fantastic. So as you know, we want to make the sources as accessible as possible to anyone who comes along afterwards and looks at the profiles you've worked on. And Ancestry is behind or other sources are behind a paywall. And Family Search is not. So when I'm doing a profile, I do my best to find the Family Search version of the source. But sometimes it can be a little tricky. Now, what I found out is that you can go to a census. Okay, here we have an 1810 census. Now I know you can't see my oh, this is going to be a problem. You can't see my pull down menu, right? You can't? No. I clicked on my Sorcerer extension, and as I'm looking at this page, I'm going to search Family Search, and what comes up is oh, this is disappointing that you can't see this. You know what? Why don't Megs, if I share my whole screen, then everybody can see my pull downs, right?
I don't know. Well,
let's try that. I'm going to stop sharing because this is just
share the window instead of the, you have that choice. So share the window and it should show everything.
Okay.
That's what I do when I do the question of the week.
Let's see. Okay. And now add to stage, and now go to my, all right.
There you go.
See the 1810 census? Great. Okay.
Perfecto.
Thank you. Okay. Now can you see my pull down menu?
Pull it down.
Yep. I clicked on Sorcerer.
Nope.
No. Oh no. And so I clicked on Sorcerer, and now it took me directly to this. And now I'm on Family Search. You should be able to see that. No. Technical difficulties. Stop. All right, I'm going to go back to my other way.
Brian is being Mr. Obvious here. He's saying that pull-down menus don't work on screen shares.
Add to stage. Okay, so you're just going to have to take my word for it. I was on. I'm trustworthy, right? I was on the census record page, the image of the record. I ran Sorcerer. I got a pull down menu. And what I did from there was I searched Family Search. And this is what I got. I got this page. And then the first hit is that record. And there it is on Family Search. So I did play around with this a little bit more, and sometimes it didn't give me what I expected to see with the Sorcerer pull-down menu, in which case I did have the option to go to record details, and that's what I did. And then I did this, and it took me to the Family Search version. I think it's most helpful. This tip is most helpful with census records. I didn't have a lot of success with, say, death records or things like that. So there's your tip of the week. Sorry that wasn't a smoother demonstration. Okay, we have some ancestors to celebrate. So let me go. Now, Brian Nash, who's in the chat, we are celebrating his father. Yay!
Hey, Vern.
Yes, Vern Nash. And you told me that the photo was now up here. There it is. Okay. So here's a photo of Vern. So I'll go back to his profile. Or, well, no, maybe I'll just make this a little bigger. His birthday is January 29th. He was born that day in 1942. And he left school early as 11th grade. After 11th grade, he left. He joined the Royal Canadian Navy and had a very long and distinguished career.
Nice.
There. He achieved rank as a master warrant officer. And he was also quite an athlete. Brian lists several sports that he did throughout his life. And he did, in the last years of his life, he did have ALS, but Brian says that he kept his mental acumen and his sense of humor until he passed in 2016. And I just want to say that I had to do a profile recently for, well, I didn't have to. I wanted to do a profile recently for one of my grandfathers who I didn't know. And but I had heard so much about him from my mother and my aunt, and it's hard to write a profile where the bio really makes the person come alive.
Right.
Because I finished what I had written, and maybe I'll go back to it. But I just sort of felt like, oh, that just doesn't quite bring out the magic that I heard in the stories. But I think, Brian, you did a beautiful job with the tribute that you wrote to your dad in his profile. So thank you for sharing him with us. And then Ginny Fields is the other person who wanted us to celebrate her second great grandfather. So we have William Sadler Fields.
Fears.
Sorry. Fear. Yes.
I was like, that's such a cool name.
Yes, it is. It is. And you can see he's 20 degrees from me. He lived in Georgia. He was born, first of all, we're celebrating him in January because his birthday is January 31st. He was born in 1807. And as a young man, he and some of his brothers and uncles settled. They pulled up stakes and moved to a different county. They ended up in Henry County, Georgia. He lived to the age of 95, had 2 wives and 11 children, one of whom they adopted. He was a farmer and a minister, and he happens to have the same birthday as Ginny's younger daughter.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice.
And Ginny, I enjoyed looking at your ancestors, and I saw that Ginny was through the first wife, with whom he had 3 children, and then he had 7 more with his second wife. So very, I loved also how Ginny included the verbiage from the wills in this profile. So really, really interesting to read. So thank you, Ginny. Yeah. Okay, I have photos, but I don't have them up. Would it be would it be too confusing for you to talk about what's going on this week?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay.
All right, let me pull that up. Let's see. We do have some stuff going on this week, just saying, or this month, or this year. There was a great post in G2G recently by Chris talking about what was going to come up this year for WikiTree. And there's a bug. They found a bug on WikiTree that it's the little itty bitty tiny little thing, but it's annoying. Let me get my screen share up. There you go. Let's see. Share the window. There we go. There's this tiny little bug that they have just discovered on WikiTree, and it's called a weevil. And what is a WikiTree weevil?
No weevils. We don't.
Somebody did a great AI thing of weevils. Is that what a weevil really looks like? They're so tiny, it's hard to see.
Yeah, I can't really say.
So this is developing a new and very popular connection combat game. Friendly Forest Elf AON coined the term WikiTree Weevil. What is a weevil? It's an insidious twig eater that weakens the branches of our tree, like real-world bugs that destroy crops. Each individual weevil is a minor annoyance, but too many of them can threaten everything we're growing. One of the worst weevils, of course, is no sources on a profile. How can we collaborate if we don't communicate about where our information is coming from? No dates, no locations for birth, death, or marriage are weevils. This makes it very difficult to identify matches so that we can work together on the same ancestor profiles. GEDCOM created junk. How many of you have found that in some of your work? So GEDCOM created junk is another weevil. This detritus from automated profile creation makes it clear that a profile hasn't been given any real attention from a human being. And WikiTree does have a lot of human touch there on everything, even greeters. So we got to get through and be humans and clean up that weevil there. So if you feel inspired to squash some weevils, Connection Combat is a good excuse as any. This week, it's centered on Billy the Kid, onward, upward for our shared family tree. This isn't the graphic. Awen says she crafted it with the help of an AI app. The only flaw I see is the weevils look too cute to squash. That from Chris Whitten. All right. Did I do enough filler time for you?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
And I think I knocked out another thing that we were supposed to cover this morning.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right. So photos. Today is the last roundup where we're looking at photos of grandparents, and let's see what came in. This is from Karen Carter. I think we did look at these because now I remember that they were Danish. Yeah. Her maternal grandparents. Yes, she said that her grandmother, her Mormor, was willing to play board games and cards with me. Yeah. And one of only 2 pictures she has of her grandfather. So that's very special. And here, yes, I remember we looked at this one. This is Alexis Nelson, baby Alexis with her mother and her paternal grandparents, Pearl and C.A. Lovelace Sr. in, where were they? Oregon. Let's see. Now, this is from Karen Stewart. Maternal grandparents Walter, Dallas Martin, and Ella Cutright. Their 50th wedding anniversary. That's special.
Wow, what a cake.
I know, right? Look, because it goes on. Do you see? It's like
It's
three
like
layers. Yeah. Oh, it's a little early in the morning for that cake, but hit me up in 4 hours and I'm there. And then this is from Deborah Campbell and her maternal great-grandparents. And oh, I love it. Thank you for putting in the profile links. Yeah. So there they are, her maternal great-grandparents and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 children. It's a beautiful frame too.
I love the frames from the 20s. They often like did this embossing and border caricature border or something.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
I mean, if you look at this one, I mean, it looks like the edges, the corners look like they're raised to me.
Yeah, it does look embossed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh yes,
the hat.
We did look at this one. Who was this? Pat Miller's grandmother.
Who liked hats.
Who loved hats. And so does Pat.
It's the biggest hat I think I have ever seen.
I mean, it looks like you could like use it as a purse.
You wouldn't want to be behind her in church.
Right.
Or maybe you would want to be behind her at church.
Well, yeah. And okay, right. These are Vicky's grandparents. They met in Antofagasta, Chile. How did I do, Vicky? When his vessel, the Carl, was detained, and he met the lovely lady Lutz Antonio Gonzalez. I am share. All right, let's click on this link. These are Alice Thompson's grandparents, John Ballinger West and Alice Lucille Coulter, when they married. Is that coming up?
Nope. Possibly in another tab.
Yep. Okay.
So if you just have your window set on window, you can switch over to the next window for the tab.
Okay. There we go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very nice. Thank you for sharing, Alice.
And there was a question that I've had on the screen the whole time you were doing this. Was, is there a theme for next month yet?
Yes. Yes, I can't remember what it is right now. I mean, I will be posting a G2G post tomorrow night.
Okay.
And I will say what I will look that up, but I'm sorry, I don't remember what it is off the top of my head.
There is a theme for next month. That's the important thing.
There is, yes. They always do themes.
There's always a theme.
Yeah. All right. I now have 42 million tabs open on my computer. I think that's all I have to show.
All right, great. Well, we can get right back to we'll go back and look at the cute weevils that Chris doesn't really want to squish, but he does. It's, men are so fickle sometimes. And anybody else wanted to get in on that note? Connection Combat, Billy the Kid. What's happening around WikiTree in January? Woohoo! So we're almost done with January. We have what we're doing right now. The Saturday sourcing sprint is going on, and then the 28th, which is tomorrow, new member Q&A with Betsy Co. We can pop down here and look at the month-long challenges that are going on. Bingo Bio Builders, Connection Canada, Project Notables. I love watching in that. U.S. Black Heritage, Project Notables, Connectors, Dash of WikiTree Love, Profile Makeover Change. Because you know what month we're getting ready to go into, right, folks? Are you guys remembering that you need to go? Yeah. All right. I thought that my spousal unit was throwing hints about, that special day coming up soon. Integrators, notables, TV, remembering those we lost in 2023. Notable sports sorcerers, Black Heritage Connecting. That we've got that up there. Oh, well, that's two different ones. One is Black Heritage Project Notables, and then Black Heritage Project Connecting U.S. Civil War. Celebrate your ancestry with connection to January. The 16 for 16 challenges, the We Will Rock You nominations and volunteers. You can find that all on this. January Connect-a-thon's coming up. We just finished that 19 through the 22nd, and we had a blast.
Awesome. I had an amazing time.
The final total was amazing. 98,000. Yeah. That's crazy. My CC7 score went up a bit. If you are going to be at Roots Tech coming up here February 29th through March 2nd, you might want to check out the WikiTree booth. It is the most orange place that you can find in the entire venue. So you can stop by and see everybody at the Roots Tech. Are you going to be there this year?
Yeah, I will be. Yep.
Betsy will be there. So you check out the Roots Tech booth. Let's see. And the Connect-a-thon is coming up. The second one is coming up April 12th through the 15th. As I don't have, so if you guys just bear with me for just a second, I'm going to go over here to find, and I'll scroll down here to projects. And I'm going to pull up the projects page, and then I'm going to scroll down here as gently as I can. Hope nobody gets car sick. Going to go down here to the functional projects, to the ambassadors. Now, ambassadors are people that just get out there and talk about WikiTree, whether you're doing talks, whether you're doing presentations, whether you're harassing people in your local Starbucks. That's okay. That's ambassador work. But the biggest thing the ambassadors do is that they keep us up on our social media and platforms and stuff like that. So the really cool thing here is down in the Ambassadors Project, there's a great tab called Social Media. You can check it out, and you can look forward to things that are coming up for Sunday the 28th week, which is a cemetery spotlight, the Geraldine Cemetery. Not sure where that is. It's in Huffy Street, Geraldine, Canterbury. There we go. Question of the week. Don't know what that's going to be this week, but it's coming up. One Name Tuesday is the Diamond surname. Connection Combat. Got a big Connection Combat on the go, so check that out.
Yep, changes every week.
Changes every week.
Yeah.
And then One Place Wednesday is Sedgwick, Maine. The Greeters is the project showcase. If you have never been a greeter, it is one of the most fulfilling jobs on WikiTree. I was a greeter for a long time. I actually led the Greeters project for a while. It was wonderful working with that project. It's like going into a room full of your favorite candy, and the sun is always shining, and there's like a big bowl with balls. You can jump in the ball bowl, and it's the best project on WikiTree. No offense to anybody else. It's a really feel-good project, the Greeters project. So that's the project showcase. More connection finders, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame spotlight. Are you related to Les Paul? If you don't know who Les Paul is, he was the designer of many, many great guitars. And then Friday Night Bingo is coming up with Sandy. And then we've got to meet our members coming up on Saturday, and then another live cast on Saturday after that. So, yay! Chris Ferriello harasses people at the Olive Garden. That's funny, to join the Italian project on WikiTree. There you go. That's an ambassador thing. So that is the week that was on WikiTree, and we've got lots more stuff coming up. If you don't see something you want to get into based on the social media stuff, check out the G2G feeds to see what's going on. Mm-hmm. And we will see you next week.
Have a great week, everyone.
Yeah.